Hello, this is Tazilon for the Lighthouse After Action Report, Volume 21. Today we're looking at Himmelsdorf. The last two films we looked at both spawns in Stalingrad, and here's another city map. And just like in Stalingrad, the same caveat applies. Do not take the route I'm going to do and think that that's a recommendation for here's how to play Himmelsdorf. It isn't. This is just one out of many different ways I happen to go just based on what I see once the battle starts. I really don't have a very set plan when I take off other than saying, okay, I'm going down the first street and turn right. After that, everything's based on what I see. It's not like I can say, okay, you go to D7 and set up in that bush and passive spot. You don't do that on this map. You just start taking off. Really, you could just sit here and wait for 30 seconds and end up making the same decisions and probably have the same effect on the battle because it's all based on what you see your team and the enemy team doing. In this matchup, there's one artillery apiece. The enemy has 4 scouts and we have 2. Kind of weird. And they have 3 mediums, 1 TD, and the rest are heavies, whereas we only have 1 medium, 3 TDs, and the rest are heavies. So a lot of heavies involved. They're a lot more mobile than we are. It's important for our scouts to understand that and know that if there's any gaps that need to be filled, it's going to be us because nobody else has the speed to do it. So like I said, I'm going to just run down to the middle and turn right. Now if I was coming up from the south, I would come up right over here, take a pot shot to the north for somebody I lit up and duck down this alley. But I don't have that little side escape here, so I just generally spot and keep going. And I get 3 lights. Type 64 looks like he wants to just sit there and try to snipe across the field. I personally don't like going into those openings in the buildings because it seems like people die a lot or get hurt a lot doing that. But a lot of scouts like to play it that way. The M10's coming down the middle. He's kind of deciding which side of the fence he wants to go on there, so I'm going to sit here and wait on him and see if he comes this way. And here he comes, so I'm going to move over. Get set up to get a shot at him as he comes around this corner here. Here he comes. Oh man, I missed it to the right. I'll get another one. He's still not looking at me, so I get to shoot him again. 27 hit points left. He's going behind that building. I'm going to pull over here a little bit to where if he sticks his butt out, I'm going to shoot him. I got a sliver of a shot and he turns. Perfect timing, dude. Thank you. We trade crit hits. At least he doesn't have the autocannon. A leopard with the autocannon from this close is deadly. They can't kill me. They can cause all kinds of damage. And he's going to die here in a second because he's going to give me a side and it's all over, buddy. .64 is running over here pretty quickly. I think he's coming over because of me. I'm going to just sit here behind this bush. One of the very few bushes here. Apparently Himmelsdorf never went green. I wanted to see if he'd come into the middle, but he's not. He's going toward the back. So that gives me a clue that maybe the artillery's down there and he's rushing over here to try to protect his arty. So I'm going to push south and see what I see. Even if I didn't think arty was over there, I'd still push south, but I think there's a little hidden treasure down here waiting on me. There they both are. Hey, imagine that. This is kind of an ammo predicament here because I'd rather have heat for the 207. I'd rather have HE for the 64. But it's one of those deals where no matter which one I pick, I'm going to get a shot at the other tank. That's just the way it works. So 64, not certain what he's doing right now. He's either making a really horrible attempt to sneak behind me, or he just said, screw you, Artie, I'm going to go somewhere else. But no, he circled around me. So that was like the worst attempt ever to sneak up behind somebody. He must think I'm blind or something. Anyway, I'm going to get a shot at him here, and he's going to die. Well, he's not going to die. I lied. Okay, let me repeat that. I'm going to get a shot at him here, and he's going to die. It'll work this time. Watch. Aha! Now we only got 4 heavies left, and they're all up there at the top end of Tank Alley. We have 4 tanks opposing them, plus our Artie's starting to move south. I'm going to come over here. This is no choice to me. I'm capping. Because if one of them ducks out and tries to come south, that gives them an advantage up there. And if they don't, then I get a win just from capping. And the Elf Panther's just running away. That's odd. He's hightailing it up towards the hill for some reason. I'm not certain why he's doing that. They only have 2 tanks left, and they aren't even coming close to coming back towards me. So I'll just sit here and take a cap victory. Unless that 50-100 plays really, really well and kills them both. Artie's coming down to help me cap, so I'll speed it up. Elf Panther continues to sightsee up on the hill. And there's no way they can get back in time. Don't let people calling you names and stuff for capping, talking and not capping. Take the win. Be smart. Here we go. That's a victory in the bank. And you know what? A cap victory counts just as much as a kill victory. Because it gives you a 1 in the win column. For the battle, I had 1,600 and I can't read my writing. Either 71 or no, it looks like 1,621 XP, 5 spots, 2,068 spotting damage, and 4 kills, 1,530 damage. So I start off making a little run down the middle and cut to the right, because if you stay in the middle and try to snipe, you're really vulnerable. You will get lit up, and you're going to have a lot of fire coming back at you most battles. So you just get a couple spots, move on. And I saw the M10 down there trying to come up the middle. So I just waited to see if he was going to cut over to the west, and he did. And I set myself up to take him out. He was nice enough to move his butt out and right into my shot. And that was his downfall. Go to the gym, work out, don't have a big butt. It gets you killed. You just saw it in live action. Public service announcement. And then I saw the 64 cutting over down the G line. It made me go, why would he be coming over here so fast just for me? And so I'm going to go south and see if maybe there's the Artie over there he's trying to protect, because he knows there's nobody between me and the Artie. And that turned out to be the case. So he demonstrated how not to guard your Artie. Okay? And that is, if you're guarding your Artie, don't go off in the other direction and try to sneak behind somebody when you're in wide open view. If there's a hill to duck behind or something, okay, maybe that'll work. But either way, normally when you're guarding artillery, you want to keep yourself between the enemy tank and the artillery. Not go behind him to where you let me just run down and take out the artillery, and by the time you come around the building, you've already failed. And then the next thing is, if you're one-on-one with a tank, know what it can do and know what you can do. And if it's a battle that you're going to lose 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, don't engage. Disengage and go off somewhere else and fight another fight. It's silly for a 64 to take on a 2801 one-on-one like that. I have a bigger gun. He isn't built. He's the perfect build for me to shoot at and blow him up big time. So It's just not a. It wasn't a good idea for him to come in and fight me like that. Especially once the arty was dead, he just should have tucked tail and run. He was basically committing suicide. And then at the last stage of the fight there was 4 heavies left. They were all up here. They were actively engaged with 4 of our tanks, even though our Alpha Panther turned and ran away. So my choice was go up behind them and flank them, or just cap. And when I only have 188 hit points left, there's no sense in me going up and capping and risking dying when I can take a cap victory, and at the very minimum what it's going to do is pull 1 or 2 of the heavies back out of that fight to the south, which is going to give my team a better chance to win in the north, and then we have the 2 remaining tanks trapped between us. But they chose not to come after me. They ended up winning the fight up there, but it cost them the battle to do it. In order to win the fight, they had to spend so much time they couldn't get back and kick us off a cap. So it worked out perfect. It started off as a distraction, but because they didn't react to me, it turned into capping for a win. We take the victory, and they get mad at us because we're cowards because we didn't fight. But guess what? I'd rather be labeled a coward and win than be labeled a hero and lose. From Himmelsdorf, happy hunting.